Hi everyone, it is Sandy Bacus here. Sandy B. Stitcher is my channel name. Welcome to everyone. This is Sunday and it is May 3rd, 2020, and it's in the early afternoon, and I thought I would drop in, let you know what I've been doing for just over the past week, and just say hey. So, as I said, welcome to everybody. If you're new, I'm glad you're here. If you're a returning subscriber or returning viewer, I'm glad you're here also. I hope everybody is doing well. They're starting to, what's the word I want to use? Let up on the restrictions a little bit here in Ohio now as of May 1st. The restaurants are still closed as far as dining rooms and so forth, but some employers were told they could bring their employees back to work. There's still a lot of rules and restrictions and everything, but it's all for the health of everyone involved. We don't want to see this, resurge and well, it's still here. Not really resurge, but have a lot of people get sick. May 12th, they are supposed to start opening up retail, and I'm kind of looking forward to that. There's some floss I need, and I decided that instead of putting in an order at Michael's and they have curbside pickup, I decided that rather than doing that, I was going to wait, and on the 12th, Claire's stitching post uptown is supposed to reopen, and she's put it out there on Facebook a couple of times and how she's going to have the store cleaned really good the day before. So I thought I'd go up there, and even though her DMC is a little more expensive than what I would pay at Michael's, I think that it's time to go up and pay her a visit and say, hey, I've missed you, and spend the money here in town with a local small business. So, moving on from there, I have some whips to show you. I have a finish. I have a restart. And I have started my mania. And if you'll remember, I said that my mania was going to be working on basically 10 whips. So let's get right into it. All right, the first project that I worked on this past week that's not related to mania was Family Quaker. And this is by Verbena Designs, and this is on 25 count Norden, oh goodness, I remember Norol Purden. Okay, let me start that one again. 25 count Norden Natural Linen, I think, is what it is. And not a whole lot done on this. I only spent a little bit of time, but I don't know if I'd finished this off the last time, but anyways, this motif is finished. I went over here and I worked down this border here a little bit. So not a whole lot, but just a little bit more progress. This is more difficult for me to see, and even with the magnifier and everything, my light, but I decided that I am going to do this. It may take me a while, but I will do this. Okay, one of the other things that I worked on that I had out previous was Frederick the Literate. And also again on this, I didn't do a whole heck of a lot. This is on 14 count brown linen, not linen, Ada. And Here it is. And basically what I did was just a little bit more thread up here. Pull it down. Okay, I did a little bit more of the back stitch in that face, not much, just a little. And then I went over here and I was working on this black here. And that was about all I worked on it. So just a little. Okay, oh, my nose is itching. I have allergies. My dogwood tree opened up. It's right here in the front of the house. Oh, I was going to mention to you about the weather, and I forgot, but I'll tell you that here in between. Yesterday and today, we finally had some spring in Ohio. The flowers are opening. I noticed yesterday that my azalea bush was starting. They're not open yet, but you can tell the colors there. They're starting to open. And the temperature got up to like 72 or 73 degrees, and it's supposed to reach that again today. Yesterday we had clouds and sun off and on. Today we've had sunshine all morning. We got outside and our neighbors came over and helped us. There is a whole line of trees and brush and we call them grapevines. They're these horrible, great big fat vines that just go up. They come up out of the ground and they go up into the trees and they choke everything to death. And so they wanted to try to get a little more sunshine onto their property. And we wanted our side to look a little bit better, so they came and helped us. Bob and I had started over there last year, and Bob just doesn't have the strength, and neither do I. And so they came over and they helped us, and we cleared out quite a bit of that yesterday. I picked up a lot of brush throughout the yard, branches and everything. And it's not finished, but it's looking a whole lot better. And we decided just to take a break today. I ordered pizzas last night from Pizza Hut and took them over, a pizza and a chocolate chip cookie as a thank you. And then we'll continue on. But it's so great that we finally got some nice weather. But it's supposed to rain tonight, and the rest of the week is supposed to be in the 40s and 50s. So you think it's coming, and then they just grab it away from you. So who knows? At least I know for another week we're going to have 40s and 50s after today. So I don't know whether you can hear any of the birds. I've got a little bit of a window open over here in the door, but they've just been singing away. And there's a bird's nest in our back porch, and I was sitting out there yesterday and watching the bird come with the worm hanging out of his mouth or her excuse me, or her mouth, and flying up into there's a hole in the eave of the overhang there, and they built a nest up in there and going up there to feed the babies, I guess. Okay, moving along. The next thing that I wanted to show you was the restart. And if you'll remember, a couple of weeks ago, sorry, dry throat with the allergy, so bear with me here. I apologize. Anyways, a couple of weeks ago, I showed you that I had this 25 count, I think they call it easy count material, and I had got it to do the Haid, and I had started it, and that's what this is right up here, was where I've pulled some of this out. I was going to try to do this on 25 count and use 2 strands over 1 half stitch, and I didn't. I was having a heck of a time with it. And so I decided I couldn't do it. Well, I kept thinking about the material, and when I was working on Family Quaker and I had that material out, that's 25 count linen, and I thought, you know what? I bought this material. I want to try to make this work. So what I did was I restarted it, and this chart is, I didn't bring the chart over here because there's so little of it to see here, but it's Mini Victorian Garden, Hayed, Heaven and Earth Designs. And what I did, and these colors are so light in this, so I don't know, this may be difficult to see. But what I did was I restarted it, and I'm doing it in full cross, one strand over one. So 1 over 1, full cross. And it is, so far, I'm able to do it. I can see it enough to do it. And I think that as long as I'm doing it with one thread, I think I'm going to be okay, because what I was running into up here is, even though they were half stitches, I was having a heck of a time once I got some stitches in there of seeing where to put the next stitch. It was just kind of blurring together for me. So far this is working out, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to do it that way. And this was my free needle minder from Gina's Unique Boutique. I received all my needle minders. In fact, I got them the same day, that afternoon, that I did my last Flosstube. So, Mini Victorian Garden, and hopefully I'll be getting some more stitches into that later. Okay, the next thing that I want to show you is my finish. And I think y'all know that it was Blackberry, because I was almost finished with it last time. And there it is. And this was a really fun, easy stitch. And I have the chart. This was a really old one. I think it was 1977. And I have one for the strawberry. And so at some point I will start that one for the strawberry. And I may even have enough fabric to do it down here below and work it in there. And then I think what I'll do is I'll frame these in a small frame and maybe put them in my dining room. But we'll see. I don't have to make those decisions yet. So, Blackberry. And that was something, it was an unmarked chart that I picked up in a thrift store, so I have no idea who designed that. Just, it had a date on it, 1977. Okay, the next thing that I wanted to show you was my Shades of Summer. I stitched on that quite a few different days. I don't know how many stitches each day, but I did stitch on it. So there is this. And I worked on several different spots, and I have a ton of threads hanging, and I really am not sure about all the different spots that I worked on. I'm going to try to pull some of these threads down out of the way. I kind of know where I didn't work, but all right. And I am just going to hold up the whole thing. And try to get it in the screen. There we go. And where I was working was basically in that middle, all up and down that diagonal there in different spots. And I am using Pattern Keeper for this. It makes it a lot easier to stitch. And so just that middle section all up and down through there, I move the Q-snap and do a bunch of one part, and then I move it and do some of the other parts because I like to keep switching colors around. And I think I'm just going to keep doing that diagonally across there and just see where it goes from there. So, Shades of Summer. This is an Artisy design. This is 14 count. I believe it's white Ada. It's very old, so it's not real white looking anymore, but I will wash this when I'm done. I have to wash it to wash the grid marks out, and it's dirty. Okay, one more. Let me reach over here. Pardon me. One more is my first whip that I started for Mania. Started this on Friday, May 1st. What I did was I took the 10 whips, and Shades of Summer is one of those 10, but I'm just going to, each day I'm trying to work on Shades of Summer, at least some. Like today, I've worked on it. When I've stitched today so far, that's what I worked on, with Shades of Summer. So I just want to keep working on that and then work on these other 9 whips and maybe have some new starts. So what I did was I took my decision roulette, I made a new roulette, I put Shades of Summer and the other 9 whips in it, and I put New Start in there. And so on the 30th of April, I spun the dial and it came up to Route 66. This is a Vickery collection. And so I got it out and ready to go so that I could work on it first thing on May 1st. And what I did, I always have threads hanging on everything. All right, what I did was all this up here had been done and this in the middle had been done. And I had just a little bit of stitching started over here. So what I did was I went over here and I stitched. And there's a lot of cream and white in there, and I don't know whether you can see it all. And then I did some of the back stitching in there, and that represents the states of New Mexico and Arizona, where Route 66 runs through those states. And this is almost completed. I've got some fill in here. This yellow has to go on around. And then there's a spot over here where I'm going to put another road sign in. And then there's just a little bit down here on the bottom, and then to bring the back stitching across. And then that section of it will be done. And then down below that is the motorcycle. So that's where I'm at. And I will probably be putting this one away now. And I spun my wheel to see what would be next. And the next one that came up is Flower Quaker. And I have that over there. And so I will get that in a Q-snap. And probably after I finish this video and put away all this stuff, I will stitch on that this afternoon. And as my number 2, well actually 3 if I count Shades of Summer, for my Mania. And let's see, is there anything else? I think really that's about it. I have a big mess back there behind me. Can you see all that? I've got Q-snaps laying back there and project bags and all kinds of stuff, floss. I have to get all that cleaned up in order to put all this stuff away and get started again. We have to get out to Sam's Club maybe tomorrow. We also have to get out to the grocery store the first part of this week. Let's see, what else? I had the telehealth appointment with my doctor on last Tuesday. I think it was last Tuesday. And, or no, maybe it was Monday. Yeah, I think it was Monday. Pardon me. And he said that it could be the statins that I was taking. And I can't remember if I told you guys that or not. My days and everything were kind of running together. Excuse me. That dry throat. I have to keep something to drink next to me all the time. Anyways, I stopped taking the statin, and the worst of the muscle pain has gone away, and I regained a little bit of energy. I was able to get a little bit done yesterday outside, but I'm not 100%. Again, I apologize. So I guess it's trying to tell me that I need to get off of here because I'm talking too much. Anyways, I did get the information from the doctor's office on the rheumatologist. I will call tomorrow and get an appointment set up and go ahead and get that checked out just in case. The blood work that the doctor did, I went in to have the blood work done. The blood work was okay. So I didn't have anything show up in the blood work. That was all good. So that was a good thing. So we'll just take it day by day and see what happens. With that said, I think I'm going to wrap this up and send out my love and hugs to everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking and leaving a comment. I love comments. And thank you for subscribing if you haven't subscribed yet. And take care, stay well, and I will see you probably in about a week. Bye-bye.